Hey, what's going on, guys? Felix here from the Shopify Masters podcast and Podcasting Secrets. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to choose a methodology when you're trying to work towards a goal and not be critical about it and why that's so important. So, I am always constantly going through this self-development phase where I'm trying to always learn new skills that's necessary for me to reach my next goal. My big goal right now is to build a business. I have revenue figures in mind. I know exactly what I want to make and how to get there. And it's gonna be multi six figure business. But there's a lot of skill sets that I need to put into place to learn enough and develop myself enough, develop my skills enough to be able to get there. So I've been thinking about. I'm going through a lot of learning this last year. I'm going through lots more learning coming up, and it's a struggle. It's hard. It's painful, right? When you're growing, it's always painful. And I started wondering, like, how come some of these things it's easy for me to pick up, and some things it's not so easy for me to pick up. Meaning that I am hearing the advice that I'm getting, hearing the lessons that I need to learn, the skills I need to learn, but then when I apply it doesn't turn out to give the results that I expect, or I have a hard time applying it, and I wonder why. And what I recently discovered was that I've been hearing from a couple kind of coaches and entrepreneurs, particularly this guy named Chris Doe, who runs I think like a brand and brand agency out in California. But he also talks a lot to entrepreneurs, but specifically creative entrepreneurs, about to build your business, or how to build a business around creative idea. And I heard from him, I heard from other entrepreneurs too, and they always said the same thing, which I'm now starting to hear, which is that you have to pick a method to learn the skill that you want and then do without questioning. And it's funny because each time they gave this word of advice, they always share the same example, same story, which is around the Karate Kid, where the student who wants to learn karate, he is told what to do by his sensei, and the sensei tells him he has to do without questioning, right? Wax on, wax off, paint the fence. You have to do it without questioning. And that's what I gotta get better at. I'm always constantly questioning, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are ambitious, we suffer from this. I thought it was I just think that I need to criticize everything. I need to be critical. I need to understand whether this is the right thing or not. But what they're recommending is that you pick a method and you go deep and you just do what they say. You do what they recommend. You go through the exercises, the practice that they tell you to do without questioning whether it is the right thing or not, without asking if am I doing it right, without asking should I be doing this or not. And I think the reason behind that is that when you start becoming critical, you start doubting the process, start doubting methodology, start doubting the philosophy. When you start doing that, I think it closes off a part of your brain. It almost like adds a little bit of a drag, adds a little bit of friction to your learning, and it shuts off a part of you that prevents you from learning more and going deep in that particular subject that you want to learn about. And for me, it does that. It drags my learning down. It makes me waste energy on wondering if I'm doing the right thing or not. Makes me waste energy on questioning it or not, rather than using energy to actually learn, and more importantly, applying it. When I'm constantly doubting the process, constantly doubting the method, even with small pieces of doubt, it starts to chip away at my energy that I have to actually apply what I've learned, and that's where the true learning happens. So that's what I realized, and my goal now is to basically to stop doubting so much. And I used to think that doubting and being critical was a superpower, but now I'm realizing that choosing a method, it's important to question, important to doubt when you're trying to choose a method. But once you choose it, you got to go into it without doubting. And I started noticing this. One of the skills I'm trying to learn, what I've been learning over the last 5-6 years, is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've progressed a lot in it. I've made a lot of progress. Objectively, I feel like I've grown a lot, made a lot of progress in that martial art, and I realize that it's because I do what my instructor says without questioning. He doesn't tell me to do something or try a particular drill or try a particular move, and I'm not thinking in my head like, hey, does this guy know what he's talking about? I don't do that, and because I don't do that, I find that I build momentum in my learning, and by building that momentum in my learning, I'm actually able to feel empowered to try it out, to apply it, and by applying I learn it, and then it begins this kind of cycle that has truly improved my life. So I'm going to start doing that more. Stop doubting so much. Once I choose a method, just do exactly what they say, and don't spend so much time questioning it. And again, I used to think it was a superpower to doubt and to criticize and to be critical, but now I'm realizing that it's actually holding me back. So I'm start doing that less, or start doing that much more or less, and hopefully I believe that it will allow me to progress towards my skills that's required for me to pick up in order to reach my goals. So hopefully that helps you out. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, starting a business, pick a methodology that you believe in, pick someone that you trust, pick someone that you feel like you relate to, and then do what they say without asking, do what they say without questioning. And you're smart enough, right? I think everyone out there is smart enough where if it truly isn't going to work, you'll discover at some point later. But try spend some time, spend weeks, months just doing without questioning first, and then spend some time evaluating later if you feel like you aren't making any progress. But if you're questioning every step of the way, I found that when I do that, I am much more likely to abandon an approach and jump from approach to approach. And if you're abandoning an approach and jumping from approach to approach, you will never go deep enough to actually learn the skill and be able to apply it. So hopefully it helps you out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.